What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Brian and today I have an interesting one. I have a box from Bozeman, Montana, and if you know about Bozeman, you know that a box from there means there is going to be some good bag stuff inside. In this case, we are talking about Evergoods. And Evergoods is an interesting one because I've seen the brand, I've seen the products, I've heard people rave about the stuff that they make, but I've had a lot of other stuff that personally just interested me a bit more, and so I never kind of bit the bullet, as it were, with respect to Evergoods. Now, a week or two ago, I discovered via an email that they had sent, a newsletter, that they were running low on stock of their CPL24, the Civic panel loader in the Griffin edition, the Carryology collaboration in a waxed canvas. They did 3 or 4 different colorways. The black was the only one that was left. And I had seen this pack and thought it looked nice, but it kind of seemed like it was always available, and so I could get around to trying it down the road, and so I never pulled the trigger. Well, now that I saw that they were running low on stock, I thought it's time to buy one and give it a shot before they sell out for good. And so here we go. And inside this box we have the Civic access pouch in the Eco Pack. I'm actually going to save this for a different video because I've heard people rave about this pouch, and I really want to see what it's all about, give it its kind of own dedicated slot. So let's check out the Griffin bag, which is right here. Civic panel loader, 24 liter, Griffin, color wax black. Check out what all the hype is about, because I've heard fantastic things about this pack. All right, this is interesting because in general, I was not personally interested in kind of waxed canvas as a material for packs. I do have a waxed canvas jacket. I'm trying to remember who makes it. Belstaff, that's who makes it. I do have a waxed canvas jacket from Belstaff. It's a beautiful jacket. As a material for a pack goes, it had me a little nervous, in part because you can see I've got a lot of nice jackets, and I'm a little bit concerned about color transfer from a waxed canvas material over to my clothing. I know that there's been discussions around waxed canvas, the color transferring from the Cap 2 pouches for the Griffin edition into the interior liner of the pack. Now, those concerns aside, I've also heard this material is basically indestructible. It's gonna patina beautifully, and it just is a workhorse of a bag. In hand, initial impressions, the material feels just really burly, really durable, really just built to last. The wax, actually, I'm surprised at how clean this pack looks right from the jump new. I mean, I kind of thought I would see lines in the canvas and whatnot. I'm sure it'll pick that up really quickly with use. But I don't know anything about this pack. So, you know, it looks good off the bat. Looks a little bit kind of small, to be honest, for a 24 liter in terms of its initial dimensions, but I haven't opened it up and I don't know anything about the features. So we're gonna explore this pack together live right here and now. Hardware, again, all kind of very vintage, built to last, not necessarily my personal cup of tea. Actually, I see a pocket right in front. We have a Velcro patch, Carryology collaboration on the patch. Nice touch. Kind of interesting. I mean, a patch panel doesn't really necessarily fit with kind of the aesthetic of the rest of this bag, but I know the community is really big on patches. And the fact that this is a leather patch when it's in position looks pretty nice right there. Front pocket, I personally am not the biggest fan of side opening front pockets like this that are really long, in part because I have a dispatch day bag and it's just really hard to access the full contents of the pocket. But in this case here, I'm liking it. It's actually really nice. It opens up nice and wide, gives you really great access to it. The interior liner is a very bright orange. And there is some decent organization. We've got a mesh pocket, very interesting. They've actually got orange mesh and then kind of vintage bronze looking YKK zipper inside. There's even a little bit of depth to this pocket. The back side of it actually has a panel for depth, so it's not just sewn in front to back. There's actually about an inch there to give it some height if you need to put some larger items in here. Overall, for a front access pocket, this looks incredibly usable. I think that is very well executed. So let's hop over to the main pack. We've got a full clamshell opening. The same very bright high-vis orange interior. Wow, this is beautiful. This is stunning right here. Evergoods Carryology shell wax cotton lining nylon 6.6, designed and developed in Bozeman, Montana. Do not wash, spot clean with a damp rag. Most Evergoods stuff just has kind of a label. This is leather embossed, beautiful. Very, very, very nice touch. Pocket up top. Their pockets are so interesting because they designed them in a way as to give the pocket some depth. So it's not just like the front of the material sewn directly to the back. They're shaped in such a way as to allow kind of a three-dimensional area for you to put larger items in. And I mean, I know it's going to compete with the space in the front, but it's just a really nice touch from a design perspective that I don't see on a lot of packs. Really impressed with that. Huge mesh pocket. No additional organization in here. Dear customer, you hold in your hands the product of careful consideration and sustained effort. We've done our best to realize crossover functionality in high quality materials and construction to bring you thoughtful, durable goods that roll with the punches and complement your life's activity. We can't wait for you to put your new gear through its paces. Of course, normal wear and tear is part of any life well lived. However, if some part of this product breaks or quits working, please contact our customer service department so that we can take care of it. We stand behind our products and our customers. Thank you for being a part of Evergoods, Jack and Kevin. Very nice to know. Sounds like they've got an incredible warranty. And I even heard an anecdotal story of someone losing their bag and Evergoods replacing it. Now that's just next level customer service. From a usability perspective, I'm wondering about this side access versus a top zip for this. 6 of one, half dozen of another, as it were, but seems to me everything's kind of side access. It'd be nice to have some top access, but then again, they do have that there, so. More just an observation. The bottom of this pack, I'm curious. Hard to say if it's actually padded. I'm not, maybe it is, maybe very lightly. Not a thick padding. Almost feels like there's a hard shell in there. Feels pretty durable on the bottom. What I'm poking at is whether or not this area for a laptop is going to be well protected. And in fact, it does have a false floor on it, so it's a raised laptop compartment. Very interesting material decision for this. It's like a stretch material. Usually, you know, this is going to be kind of similar to the material around it, harder and perhaps padded. This is kind of like very light. There's no real protection on offer here, but it should allow this area to stretch to conform to different size laptops, which is nice. The back of this is definitely very burly. Definitely some structure behind it, perhaps a frame sheet. We have some molly webbing loops coming off the top, and I'm not sure what this is for here. On the side of the pack, what is this? We've got like, okay, so we have structure in place for a grab handle on the side. That's probably the reinforcement for this handle here, which I didn't even realize was there. Pretty nice handle, very durable feeling in hand. It's not, I guess it is, it's like a piece of webbing, almost seatbelt-like in nature, but folded on itself and then sewn together to give it kind of extra structure and form. And then some loop area at the top. You could hang a carabiner off of that if you like. Goes up to the handle up top, and then one additional loop back here. So the handle is only on one side, it doesn't come down the other side, and that explains why there's no corresponding structure on this side. What is this for though? There's a piece of Velcro here. Oh wow. There is a legit piece of metal, it looks like aluminum, slotted in here to give this some rigidity. I was not expecting that at all. That's a really impressive bit of kit right there. So I think that does it for this compartment. Now I am curious, I'm gonna have to test this, because this is my go-to test for all bags in this range. Can this fit my camera cube? I kind of feel like it won't be able to. Let's try it and see. Are we asking too much? Wow. So it actually does have some give in the material. Now it really bulked it out, so I think it might make it challenging to put stuff in the front. I don't know, let's see. It's not too bad. I'm impressed. I did not think just from eyeballing it that it was gonna have the space that it needed to kind of fit this well. But it looks like it does. And that is pretty cool. So, let's get this back out. It looks like we've got one more pocket to explore at the very back. Maybe two. Oh wow, is this a... We've got two more zippers back here, so let's see. So we've got one across the top, and I think, yep, this is a quick access pocket, which is a really nice size, runs the full width of the bag, has almost a red hook for keys or something. I don't know why. Why change the color to red? It's kind of an interesting design decision. I mean, maybe black, maybe orange. I don't understand the red. But it is a nice pocket nonetheless. And since we're here and I got the scale, let's just see what this guy weighs in total. 3 pounds, 6.9 ounces. So this bag has a bit of heft to it. I'm sure the waxed canvas material is pretty weighty. It also has a lot of organization, so that's gonna add to the heft. And the last thing that I see here is this zipper right here. So what do we have going on? All right, so I was wrong. That other pocket was probably not a laptop sleeve, or maybe you could use it as a laptop sleeve. This right here feels like a legitimate laptop sleeve, a dedicated compartment. In fact, we've got the Velcro right here. Yep, so this is the sleeve. So this makes much more sense. The other one was more just a mesh pocket. This right here is the full-blown laptop sleeve, and it feels incredibly well protected, and it's got 2 areas for this Velcro. That is just really well thought all the way through. So if you want, you could actually Velcro that in place on the inside so that it's not just kind of flapping around. Or if you want to use it for your laptop, you can put your laptop in and then Velcro over the top. I was gonna say, what is this excess material? But this is actually from the quick access pocket. It's just the other side of the quick access pocket right there. And then we have a really long pocket. I don't know if this is a pocket or the frame sheet. The zipper access for this is kind of strange. It's kind of in an odd location because it zips all the way up underneath the back side of the quick access pocket, which means you kind of got to grab into an awkward location to pull it. Now if I pull it, that's just a frame sheet. So that's not really meant for storage, and that explains why the zipper is kind of hidden away, as it were. This whole other area though can fit a whole bunch of extra stuff. Overall, we're talking kind of 2 main compartments, one for a laptop and extra items, really well protected. And then the main area is still actually large enough to fit a pretty decent sized camera cube. That's kind of, again, my go-to test for whether or not a bag has usable space. Only one thing left to do, try this bad boy on, and people have said it is not necessarily the most comfortable pack on your back, that it can actually dig into your back, but it kind of depends on your personal structure and where the backpack will fall. Let's just add this back in to give this some structure and try this guy on and see what I think about the comfort. All right. The straps fall nicely across my chest. I like the cut and fit. Now, they do feel a bit more substantial than other packs that I've tried and used recently. You know, I'm used to kind of foam padding kind of being directly exposed on the underside of the strap. In this case, what are we working with here? It feels like, does it look like? It looks like it's the same material. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks and feels like the same material. And I personally, from a comfort perspective, don't know that I would prefer that. Now, aesthetically, I understand why they would make that decision. This whole bag is wax canvas on the exterior, so to switch up a material might be a little bit funny. But as a result, it's just kind of not quite as comfortable against my body as I think a foam or like with GWA where they use tweave would be. I can kind of feel it. So, not necessarily my favorite straps in that respect. How it fits on my back, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I love kind of the position that it lands at in the small of my back. And again, I'm spoiled because I've got a lot of Mystery Ranch packs that have the Futura harness and a lot of adjustability. In this case, it just feels like there's a giant block on my back and there's no real kind of structure to the padding to kind of make it more comfortable or conform more to my back. And if we look at the design, I mean, you can kind of see that that's basically the case. So I would say in this instance that how it looks and how you would expect it to feel largely align. You know, this padding is not soft. It's not like a comfortable foam padding that you'll find on a Mystery Ranch harness system. It is just kind of what it looks like. So, is this a good pack or not? I know some people swear by this. I am impressed with the design and layout of this pack. I do think the material is pretty nice. Now, again, I bought this because I was curious. It's not really fair for me to kind of say it's for me or not. When I bought this, kind of knowing it wasn't necessarily up my alley, but I wanted to see what it was about. I think it's probably a good bag. It probably is not for me. I probably am going to be willing to let this one move on, but I'm glad that I checked it out. And if you're an Evergoods fan, I can totally understand why. I am excited to check out the Cap 2 pouch, because I do think that is something that I will get a lot of utility out of. So I'll make sure to make a video about that in the near future. And I don't know if this is just a design element or if this is open right here on the strap for a reason. It's not open at the top, so I don't think there's anything going on there. Overall, that's the Evergoods Civic Panel Loader 24. That's all I've got for you. So let me know in the comments what you think of this pack. If you have one and love it and use it, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think about how it breaks in. That is kind of one thing I think would happen if I kept and used this pack, is that this material would probably break in very nicely over time, just like a new pair of jeans breaks in over time. And I think it probably becomes more comfortable as time passes. So, love to hear from you. That's all I've got for this one. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you at the next one soon.